My name is Jo Linehan and I'm a sustainability journalist. So before I connected with Lorraine at Jigsaw, I had a very haphazard approach to my finances. A lot of that was down to the fact that I'm self-employed, so it is quite a haphazard way of earning money. But I finally made the decision to start a pension. I found Lorraine and really set myself up on a path and a plan to build my finances, invest them properly, have proper pension contributions. And that's really evolved over time to so many different aspects of my finances, which has been amazing. So before I set up my pension and had income protection and savings, I think I was in like ignorant bliss. I kind of just got along with things, but I did have a creeping feeling, especially towards the end of my 20s, that I did need to put something in place. And I suppose like everyone, you do want to feel like you have a safety net and that you're working towards something. So by the time I went to talk to Lorraine, I was definitely anxious to get started. I was a little bit worried about what, that conversation might look like and whether I was ready to take those steps. But Lorraine definitely made it very easy and clear, and I'm so glad I had that conversation with her. A mutual friend recommended Lorraine. She'd had a great experience, and I was looking for someone in particular who had a lot of knowledge around ESG funds when it came to pensions. I wanted to make sure that my pension fund wasn't going to be invested in things like fossil fuels. I really wanted an ESG, environmental, social, governance friendly pension fund. And thankfully, Lorraine was really knowledgeable about that area, so we were already very aligned on that. I think when you're self-employed and you have a limited company, you really have to be so resilient, you have to be very agile, and it can be a very difficult way to plan. You're really not sure about cash flow. Every month, every year is very different. So I completely understand why people would be slow to maybe make a plan and make a commitment to something like a pension plan or income protection or savings. But what I will say is that counterintuitively, when I actually made those plans and started putting those things in place, my financial health actually flourished following it. So I think for a long time, I always felt if I committed to those things, I'd be more constricted in my finances, and it's actually been the opposite. So I would say to anyone who's in the same position as me to book in a day to talk to a professional. I would never have done it if I wasn't actually, going to meet Lorraine at a certain time on a certain date. So have that initial conversation and make sure that you find someone who understands where you're coming from, who tailors everything completely to you, which Lorraine has done for me, and who is always ready to be agile and maybe shift and change things if your circumstances change. My initial conversation with Lorraine was actually so enjoyable, which I wasn't expecting. She was so lovely, so friendly, really open, no judgment on where I was financially, which was really important to me. I really wanted to feel like I was meeting someone who was going to help me in this area of my life and not make me feel bad or feel guilty or feel embarrassed about where I was at that point. So that initial conversation was really helpful. And then I was actually given a lot of breathing time to digest everything. She sent everything in email for me so that I could actually take the time to go through everything and make those decisions when I felt ready. So it was a really nice initial meeting, and I definitely felt I was with the right person. It honestly feels amazing, and I never thought I'd be at a place where I actually was excited about looking at my bank balance and actually seeing what I'm spending and, looking to the future, finally being in a position where I'm saving a little bit towards a mortgage. So I think as a self-employed person in particular, that was like such a big achievement for me. And I'm well aware that things will change in the future. I may need to change my expectations and change how I approach things, but having the plan in place and having someone like Lorraine who I can call up or email when I have a question or a worry is such a great support and so reassuring. So I'm definitely feeling very positive and really glad that I took the leap when I did.